Hi, greetings of the day, everybody. This is Subramanian, this time with yet another example related to how to see an event using primary directions, the concept that never made to India, but nevertheless is an amazing technique, and I would say extremely reliable provided one knows how to analyze a chart using the principles. So this time, this is regarding foreign travel. So just 2 3 days back, okay, close relative of mine actually traveled out of India. That's where I belong, and so basically, it's a foreign travel. It's not that every now and then people who are based in India travel abroad. I mean, of course, some profiles do allow that because of the nature of the work that they do. But yeah, otherwise, if it's a pleasure trip, then obviously it needs a lot of savings before someone takes that decision to go and spend some quality time abroad, right? So it's not that everybody goes abroad every year. So I thought, why not try and see, because this close relative of mine, the scribe, recently traveled a couple of days back along with his wife, and I was just curious, whether primary directions or the directions that are prevalent around this time showcase this event. So with that background, I would like to keep this video short, and obviously this is solely for educative purposes. So on the left side you see the natal chart or the radix chart of the scribe, and on the right side it is the solar return chart, the most recent solar return, because 2025 September, because this person was born in the month of September. So this is the chart of September 2025, and as I record, we are in November. And as I said, just 3 or 4 days back, this person went out of India abroad to a European country, right? So with that background, let's take a quick look at the primary directions that are active. So obviously we are around 11 2025, November is the 11th month. So if you really see, look at the mercurial influence, right? The ascendant is directed to the terms of Mercury in Pisces, okay? Ascendant is directed to the terms of Mercury in Pisces. The MC is also directed to a trine of Mercury, so Mercury repeats again. The moon is conversely directed to the body of Mercury, right? So if you really see in 2025, there are, between 24 and 25, there is a lot of mercurial influence. Ascendant directed to the terms of Mercury in Pisces, the MC directed to trine of Mercury, and the moon conversely directed to Mercury. So obviously Mercury becomes an important chronocrator. And now look at this natal chart. So what is Mercury? I'll just blow it up, make life easy for you. So Mercury happens to be his ninth lord. So Mercury, the cusp of the ninth house is 27 degrees of Virgo, which basically makes Mercury the ruler of the ninth lord. And in medieval astrology and even in Indian astrology, ninth lord has a strong connection with foreign travel, travel abroad. That's what ninth house is, you know, uh, taken for, right? So it's such a strong mercurial influence, you can right away come to a conclusion that this year a foreign travel is a strong possibility, right? Okay, now let us look at the profections, okay, annual profections. So the scribe completes 48 years, he completes 48 years in September 2025. So basically, this means he is in the 49th year, 49th running year, right? So he is running the 49th year, and the 49th year again will coincide with ascendant. Why? Because if you know the concept of profections, and I'm sure most of you are aware. If not, you can watch any video on YouTube. So every year the ascendant moves by 30 degrees to the next sign. So the 13th year, the 25th year, the 37th year, the 49th year will again land back into the ascendant. And since he is running the 49th year, again the perfected ascendant returns back to 21 degrees of Capricorn. Now again look at the beauty. We saw that Mercury is getting activated as the chronocrator and Mercury is the ninth lord. The perfected ascendant is 21 degrees of Capricorn. And if I just project or superimpose 21 degrees of Capricorn into the revolution chart for the year, so 21 degrees of Capricorn will come somewhere here. So the perfected ascendant is 21 degrees of Capricorn, and that is coinciding with the ninth house of the revolution chart. Just give me a minute, somebody at the door. I'm back. So the perfected ascendant again coincides with the ninth house of the revolution chart, and again, as I mentioned, ninth house deals with foreign matters, foreign travel, right? So you already saw two quick confirmatory points in like less than 5 minutes. So one is Mercury, the repetition of Mercury as a chronocrator, and now the second point where the perfected ascendant projected onto the revolution chart again falls in the ninth house, right? Now there are other concepts which I did not see widely adopted in by many astrologers, and recently I was reading a Hebrew translation done by Mira Epstein along with Robert Hand, and the book was basically a Hebrew translation of the works of Ibn Ezra, right? There I came across something very interesting. This is again about additional chronocrators that I was not aware of. Of course, one is people do consider the Barthar, the Hora Lord, like in Sanskrit or even in Greek, it's called Hora, the planet that was ruling the hour of your birth. So it's like the Chaldean or the Chaldean order. You start with, the order is Sun, followed by Venus, Mercury, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun. So the Chaldean order, it repeats cyclically after every 7 years. So as per this, the ancients also used to consider that the first year of life will be ruled by the planet that was active during the hour of birth of the native. So in his case, Moon was the Hora Lord, or the Lord of the hour of the birth in the radix chart, right? So now this person is now currently running the 49th year. So the technique is you divide 49 by 7 because there are only 7 planets considered: Sun, uh, I would say Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. So only 7. So you divide 49 by 7. In this case, it is 0. And when you say 0, 0 or 7 will be the same planet. So when you say 0, you have to count 7 planets from the planet that was ruling the birth hour. So the seventh planet in this case for this person, the Hora Lord was Moon. The planet that was active at the time of birth that was ruling the hour was Moon, and hence the seventh planet from Moon is Saturn, right? So I was just wondering, maybe that could also give some clue. Another surprising rule, which again I was not aware, is this. While you know that, for example, in this particular year, the perfected ascendant lands at Capricorn, and hence Saturn becomes the ruler of the year. They also had another concept where the first year was ruled by the ascendant lord, the second year by the second year used to again follow the same Chaldean order. So like in this case, the first year is ruled by Saturn. The second year will be ruled by the planet that comes under it in the Chaldean order, which means the second year will be ruled by Jupiter, the third year will be ruled by Mars, the fourth year will be ruled by Sun, the fifth year by Venus, the sixth year by Mercury, the seventh year by Moon, and then again it repeats. The eighth year will again start with Saturn. Now, this was really an eye opener because I was not aware that the ancients also used to consider this approach, because the lord of the year that I knew is always a lord of the perfected sign. But this was something interesting, and I have seen this work in many charts. I have still written to uh, Mira Epstein requesting for a confirmation and clarification because it is explicitly mentioned in page 80 of her book. So while I have not yet received a formal response, I do not think and I do want to believe that this is not a misprint. So going by that logic, right? So if the first year of life is ruled by Saturn, the same logic applies. He is currently running the 49th year and the remainder is 0, which basically means 0 and 7. I mean, as I said, if it is 0, then you take the 7th planet from the planet that rules the first year. So in this case, the first year is ruled by ascendant lord, which is Saturn. So the current year is 7. If you see, the remainder is 7, 7 away. Our remainder is 0, but 0 is the same as 7. If the remainder is 1, then you will again consider Saturn. If the remainder is 2, you will consider Jupiter. If the remainder is 3, you will consider Mars. In this case, it is 0, which is the same as 7. So the 7th planet in the Chaldean order from Saturn is Moon. Okay, lot of explanation. You can watch the video recording again, hear it again and again till it gets into your head. So basically, going by that logic, another chronocrator happens to be Moon, right? Because that's the 7th planet from the ascendant lord Saturn. And look at Moon in the revolution, right? Moon in the revolution is 0 degrees Cancer. Okay, and it applies a sextile to Mercury, because Moon is at 0, Mercury is at 2. So within a day or two, it's going to have a sextile with Mercury. So basically, your revolution Moon applies a sextile with revolution Mercury, and I mean, so basically, Moon is a chronocrator, Mercury is the chronocrator, and you are also seeing that Moon is applying Moon as a chronocrator. Okay, because it is also the uh, going by this logic, a chronocrator is applying a sextile with Mercury, and again Mercury happens to be the ninth lord. So there is a lot of ninth lord foreign travel related uh, confirmatory points that you see, and this obviously will give us an indication that yes, there is a strong possibility of this guy getting into, I mean, either traveling abroad or maybe indulging in some religious trip and stuff, or maybe a combination of both. But just thought it's worthwhile to see if primary direction shows this, and primary directions clearly shows Mercury as a super important chronocrator. But then I also wanted to introduce these two new concepts where the first year of life is ruled by the Lord of the Ascendant, and the second year follows the Chaldean order. Unlike the normal profection style where we just consider the Lord of the next sign as the ruler, like in this case, the first year is ruled by Saturn, the second year by Jupiter, the third year by in fact, in this case, the first and second years pretty much will be ruled by Saturn, right? Whereas in the Chaldean order, it's not the case. The first year is ruled by Saturn, whereas the second year is ruled by Jupiter. So these are some nuances, interesting, something very new. But trust me, I have tried this, and it does work quite consistently. Maybe, as you are all aware, there is a lot of translation that used to happen. Some scriptures were translated from Greek to Latin, some from Arabic, some from Hebrew. So maybe there could be points that many astrologers would have missed. But as I said, I found this quite interesting, and more than the Hora Lord or the Lord which was active during the birth, I think the first year ruled by ascendant lord and subsequent years ruled by the lords in the Chaldean order is making a lot more sense. And I have seen more examples working quite reliably. So I would encourage you to experiment. If you have any knowledge about this, if any of you uh, knows Mira Epstein, then maybe I'll be more than happy, because I've written to her yet to get a confirmation. Even in the past, I had written to her, but unfortunately, maybe she's busy. She did not respond to me. But I hope someday I will get a confirmation, or else I would have analyzed so many horoscopes that I would not need a confirmation. So that's all from my side. Hope you liked this video. I know the real prediction part was short, and I was trying to introduce some new stuff that I came across. But I hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice weekend ahead. Thank you. This is Subbu signing off. And if you like my content, please do subscribe to my channel and do like my videos so that I'll be encouraged to come up with more and more videos, and maybe also additional concepts outside of primary direction. Though I feel this is like a topic which many astrologers do not really use or are not fully aware how to use. Uh, Trust me, I've spent a lot of time and money attending courses, but uh, I mean, most of them only talk about theory. Nobody teaches you how to apply this in practice. And I cannot end this video without thanking my guru. I'm not taking his name because I have not taken his permission, but I mean, hats off to him to guide me and really uh, get me thinking in how primary directions are really applied to charts. And trust me, it's a super reliable technique. And if it is I mean, if you're not able to predict using it, there's nothing wrong with the technique. It's our fundamentals or our uh, I would say lack of knowledge to apply it properly and make predictions. Thank you, and have a nice day.